I'm pretty sure all of you are sick of this topic, since I've seen some repeated behaviors just scrolling through. Now, I wasn't going to respond up until I saw a post of my AD account. And in order to talk about this topic, I do believe some honesty is deserved, right? So, before anyone else asks, yes, I had an AD account, and I have posted VR chat porn about 7 months ago at latest, and I think that post was me porting a Darkseela crystal model from Gmod into VR chat because I thought, oh hey, this is cool. I posted it. I got an SW avatar from Gmod onto VR chat, and maybe it's easy, right? But to me, it was a big deal, so I did that. And I know some people are a bit mixed with uploading VRChat content, knowing some of the TOS guidelines and all that stuff related to smut. And while I do find smut to be a bit concerning on the VRChat side, at the end of the day, I've always said adults can do what they want to do in private as long as it doesn't involve minors. Now, I have always uploaded my VRC porn to either Blue Sky or Twitter. I haven't done Twitter because I was calling out my pedophile ex, and I want to move away from Twitter since, and I've have that channel locked so no one can see it in general. But I have my Blue Sky, which I took the necessary precautions to use certain shields and whatnot to prevent minors from seeing said content. Because normally before you click on it, there's like a little blur or whatever, and you have to be age verified and stuff. So I always took proper precaution to be sure minors cannot see this content compared to like YouTube. I think I lied for a second, Jesus. Compared to like YouTube, where the search filter is easily bypassable. I'm not so familiar with Blue Sky, but you do get tools to prevent that, right? Now, Blue Sky and Twitter, obviously, there's gonna be porn on there, Reddit, stuff like that. So I find that to be a bit better over doing it on like YouTube, and I'll get into that in a second because that's what I'm gonna call it for EXE, also known as Spooky. Oh yeah. Before I forget, he actually uses his alt to have conversations to win over a person he's arguing with. What a fucking kook. So I want to get in that soon. But as I said before, and I've even said this on Herblaw's live stream, where we fundamentally, disagree, where he's more against the Gooner content, and this is no way of me disrespecting his opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion on this, right? When it comes to Gooner content, right? When it comes to people doing what they want to do in private, as long as they're not involving minors or animals or doing anything illegal like age play and all that stuff, then I could honestly give less of a fuck about what they want to do in private. When you're posting shit like that on YouTube, and I even call this out with like some AI videos, I think it's very fucking weird to do that. And then you also got stuff like Elsa Gay and all that other stuff. Obviously when it's on YouTube, it's a bigger issue for me because, let's be honest, more kids, I think, use that over like Twitter and Blue Sky and all that stuff. And while I'm on this tangent, and we'll get into this stuff in a minute, I'm just kind of giving my first opinions out there. While I do agree adults should be a lot more careful with what they should do, I still believe the parents need to be involved, right? Now, as an adult, that's responsibility still on you. But even so, I'd still be careful. I still be careful of what you're doing with your kids. Being sure that they're not doing anything they're not supposed to be doing. I believe it's half and half. And of course, the own person, the minor, doing their due diligence to stay away from that stuff because it could affect you at a young age. I mean, I consumed porn content at a young age as well. I think around the age of 10. So, I'm kind of saying this from personal experience that obviously be careful with what you do online and stuff like that. With that being said, when you're with adults and you're doing that shit in private, do what you want. There are some weirdos, don't get me wrong, that I have my opinions on, that even though they are in private, they say some like really concerning and messed up things. So even though I do tell people do what you want to do with adults, I am not completely judgment free. Like if you say something weird that you have like a fetish of like controlling people and people shouldn't have free will and stuff like that, then I definitely deserved. I definitely think like you deserve to get called out more when you're doing something actually fucking weird. We're talking about you like dog dicks over human dicks without any context that you just like on anthro characters, whatever. I'm just saying when you say something like actually concerning is when we shouldn't be judgment free and we should call out that weird behavior. Even Herblaw said, don't be afraid to call out weird behavior, right? When you see something that's like genuinely fucking weird, you have your right to call it out. And that's what I'm doing with Spooky. So I'm gonna make this known right now. From what I know, I do not think he's a okay. I think I believe in some way he's a predator, but there's no evidence to suggest he is a child predator, right? He has some his own admissions and stuff like that. That's as far as I really can say. Like if you go on Herblaw's live stream, which I might click on and off from there, because there's some videos on there that provide some context. On Herblaw's live stream, it does go over some stuff that Spooky might have done. Like he got arrested for being a domestic terrorist, as his wife claims, and just some other stuff. So we might be clicking on Herblaw's live stream and getting some shit from there, and then doing what we're gonna do. But before that, I do have some videos and some comments that I want to show on here that kind of validates why this guy is a weirdo. Now, this guy has defended child predators for a while. And I mean a while. There's some person named Baby Cakes that he was defending. And there was another person, Sonic OO, which is the most notable one. And he also wanted to have Herblaw apologize to Benelli Trolls, Ozai, and Modulace. Now, I'm going to say this. Ozai's situation was overblown. He was in the wrong, and the 25-year-old was mentally messed up. So, like, there were faults on both sides. But when it came to Ozai was 19, right? He's a young adult, a horny young adult. If you're going to make that defense about Sonic Wall, I can make that defense about Ozai, right? But at least Ozai was an adult with another adult, right? If this was Ozai and a 17-year-old, I'd be weirded out, right? Especially if it's online. But the person he was getting with was 25 years old. The behavior was still weird and deplorable. But I still agree with Serki on one thing, is that the situation was overblown. Despite that, I do think it was still should have been talked about, but the outright label him a predator, like, the guy's 19. I'm not going to defend all of his actions. I'm just giving him a little bit of leeway. And I know, now he's with Ozai, and Red's a hypocrite. I know Spooky's going to be talking about that, but I've said this before, and this was one of the reasons I even went to Spooky. I don't think Ozai is innocent, but he's still a young adult who made a mistake and ended up doing this with a 25-year-old. But again, he is not fully innocent. I'm giving him leeway. It's half and half. But I do believe it is a good turning point for Ozai, especially to learn from his mistakes. I feel like compared to Modulace and definitely Benelli, that Ozai got off really easily, right? Because he's still making his content. He did the iShowSpeed videos and all that stuff. Ozai made it out okay. Ozai made it out okay. And I think this is a good learning experience for him to move on from. He still has his followers. I think he's going to be alright. And, if there is a video by Ozai, I still might watch it on and off. Compared to the other two people, which are a bit weirder, I feel like Ozai is going to be fine, right? Just a sliver of embarrassment, but he's fine now. I believe he is. With Modulus, and we'll get more into her in a second, a bit weirder, I was also pretty half and half with her, but I saw why people were concerned. I don't think Ozai did, not Ozai, I don't think Celesticos did the best job covering her, but she still liked some questionable art. I was half and half on the Toriel thing, but I saw why people thought the way they did. The fish meme, I was half and half on it as well. But compared to the fish, right, where it's just the mouth, which even then, oral, whatever, it showed a literal horse's ass. So I'm willing to give Modulus the benefit of a doubt that maybe it was just meant to be a shitty meme and just executed poorly. I'm willing to give her that. But the lolly post thing, I don't know. That's where I like disagree with Modulus. And I feel like she also got off the hook relatively easily. I mean, she still gets made fun of whenever trolls encounter her, but like, there hasn't been anything massive about her other than like the Herbla live stream, which wasn't really massive, but she did appear in there. I did call her spooky side piece. And again, I could be wrong on that. I'm willing to be wrong. But with how Spooky defends Modulus and how weird Spooky is, like, it was a fair assumption. I'm willing to apologize for that if I'm wrong to Modulus. But, like, that wasn't without some merit. Benelli... Ozai. I keep saying Ozai. Sorry. Herbla did show evidence of that, and we will take a look at that as well on shit Benelli did. And even though she did lie about her age, this still continued after, I'm pretty sure. And again, I'll fact check myself on that. So when it comes to Ozai and Modulus, maybe. Modulus, a bit less. Benelli, fuck no. Fuck no. Okay, so that's the beginning of my rant there. I'm not going to be like spooky and go completely off the rails, off topic. We're gonna get into this, all right? And I want to go over some just concerning patterns that I've seen. We'll even take a look at Herbla's live stream, snippets here and there. So I want to set up a basis, because I'm pretty sure all of you know that he has defended Sonic. You could look at my previous videos, which are pretty short. He defended Sonic Awo and said that because he was like turning 18, right? That he was turning 18, that his actions were more justifiable, and weebs and all these other people are worse than him. He likes to deflect blame off of what... Even if Celestios is a predator, which he is, and all these people did worse, it doesn't take away from what Sonic Awo did, and he should be held just as much accountable. So I want to read this, right? Even though this isn't full-blown proof, this is evidence, and I want to differentiate evidence and proof. Evidence suggests the truth, right? Evidence is not the truth. It is to suggest the truth, to provide context. Proof is the undeniable truth. So do not take this as proof. Take this as evidence that suggests the truth. And if I do get off topic, please let me know. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the meat and potatoes. I am changing scenes now. I am trying to find my OBS. I'm trying to find the stream. I kind of got a little disoriented for a second. I apologize for that. We got 13 minutes into rambling, but I figured that beginning thing was needed. Just react, window capture, properties. Here we go. So this is the live stream that I joined Herbla in, and I provided context to how this all happened. And again, you can watch my previous videos. I don't want to go over every single thing here. Right now, we're just looking at patterns that that Spooky has. And towards the end of the stream, Spooky kept spamming in here, saying, well, you guys want me in here. Now you guys don't. Make up your mind. Well, we gave you every opportunity. You just waited like a coward until after. And even then, we gave you every opportunity towards the end. So here is something that Joblo's Toes has. Sorry if I butchered that. We're going to read that real quick. Remember, this is evidence, not proof. Just for context, this person comes from the Second Life Safe Hub community, a group that's been around since 2008. It's a long-standing cluster of trolls users, generally older than 30 plus, who tend to stay in the default login areas and have been active there for many years. The individual in question, along with... Sorry, I keep messing the highlight up. with people they mentioned like Minka and Boyd are regular players from there. 1 second. Let me move my controller away so I can do this properly. There we go. It's also worth noting that this person has displayed behavior in the game and on FearChat that suggests ongoing mental health challenges. Possibly schizoactive, as he inserts himself into drama and constantly refers to his FBI buddies, and recently started appearing in FearChat as well, carrying over their behavior from Second Life into that space. This guy also has a super long history on Second Life involving repeated bans over time. Most of the people at the Safe Hub do this, admittedly create large numbers of alternate accounts to continue assessing the platform after those bans, some of which are up to 10,000 accounts. It's generally best to not engage with them. He lives in squalor, doesn't take his medicine he's been prescribed, and has been to prison multiple times. And he's even admitted he's been to prison multiple times. In the live stream here, it goes over some videos. So I'm going to have to skim over to where he talks about it. So we'll backtrack in a second. So then, you have some replies here. He said, foul stuff. Yeah, I sensed... Hold on, sorry. Foul stuff. I sensed he was stressing over what was happening, and I tried reaching out to give him a platform to hopefully resolve whatever was going on between him and Red, but I quickly learned he was never looking for a resolution. Lol. And he's not. He's not. And we'll get into that through here, which he's still going. And, oh yeah, I kind of trolled him a little bit, saying that he should suck my dick since he likes talking about it. Right here is the porn that he censored as his thumbnail, which I'm going to get into that in a bit. I want to keep this somewhat structured. Obvious chat box is obvious keck. Hopefully he gets help, or at least realizes he's not the epitome of every drama happening on other platforms he hangs around on. He thinks every YouTuber has a personal fight with him. I do now, because he kept harassing me, but, you know. He also thinks you're all AI, by the way. Yeah, you're either all accounts or AI to him. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I gotta watch my own fucking recommendeds. Holy shit. Sorry you're seeing that. Like, but at least I'm being honest with you guys. I am a gooner, right? So, you know, take that as you will. This clearly an AI, isn't it? Wow, neat. Coherent sentences are now correlate to AI, right? Your history is pretty widespread, man. If you don't want these people targeting you like they're doing, or calling you a predator, you need to stop all these videos and do a scraping of your digital footprint. You bring this on yourself by constantly bringing up YouTubers' names with insane accusations that you probably think are true in your head, and poking at trolls that want to just ruin your life. My best advice for you is to go radio silent, collect yourself, and realize these people are on YouTube aren't actually going after you, and it's just randoms from FearChat and Second Life that are getting a reaction out of you. And that's mostly the case, right? There's no actual evidence to suggest that he is a child predator. And if he knows the truth of that, then all he has to do is just make one video and just let it go. But he refuses to do that. He keeps whining and bitching about me. And within this live stream, he made 7 fucking videos, or over 7, when he had every opportunity on that same day to just talk with us and have a civil conversation. Now, I was a little less civil, because I was like, I beat this nigga in the fighting ring, but you know. Invasion of the Clankers. See, like, everything's just this laughable joke to him, right? And just today or yesterday, I was even asking about, almost 24 hours, yeah, about a day ago, of curiosity, how widespread is this? And I didn't know if he was talking about, like, hidden behind the scenes accusations, or accusations, or just shit that he's currently doing, which are his videos. But I did ask about that. So, with that being said, we'll go back to the prison thing in a second. I'm going to constantly remind myself so I go back into it. Oh, okay, we got a little bit more. Speaking knows about the ArtCC community, that kind of surprised me. I'm guessing he knows about look on me, much like the other furries. Oh yeah, he has a lolly video of a lolly like bending down in an anime in order to make fun of them. It's not really important. That's my girlfriend over there, who he thinks is my alt account. Jesus Christ! And you got retards like this. And I think they were also fishing for a reaction. So sorry, I got a little sidetracked reading. Here we go. This was important. Apparently, accountability is not his dictionary. Seen his tendency to blame slander others, specifically strangers in the media, for his own frustrations. My concern is not a political party, but rather his behavior towards people. His repeated prison sentences also highlights his issues. While I hope to see him change, his ongoing actions and increased drinking problems make it difficult to believe that any improvements will come. He is old enough to take full responsibility for himself, including raising children, handling bills and taxes. Safe, y'all. Exactly. So, let's get into some comments, right? Because I wasn't going to respond to this, and if anyone has a problem with me responding with it, I don't give a fuck. But it's because he went after my AD account. And he himself has literal porn on YouTube. After this, I'm pretty much just going to end up my fucking channel here because I was going to leave this anyway. But hey, Milo, how are you doing? Again, I was ignoring him up until he wanted to post my AD and then say a bunch of shit about me. So, I want to provide context on that. Again, it is my channel. I'll do what I want with it. It is what it is. But yeah, here's the thing over here. For y'all to quickly see it. And again, I've always said adults can just do whatever they want in private, right? And I would see an issue if I was still doing it. I've only done this like 7 months ago. My AD account, which I don't even really use anymore. I haven't even touched Blue Sky until like recently. So with that being said, kind of want to go over all that real quick. Again, if no one has to watch this here. What the fuck? But I do believe some context is in order in case he does try to go after my real name and shit like that, which he's trying to do. So in here, he's talking about like him being a sex pest and just outright harassing others on the internet. Just to put that. And real quick, before I forget this, that's actual porn, by the way. So this is actually uncensored on YouTube. If I were to click on this right now, you would see tits and vagina. Actual tits and nothing is covered. Not even a pasty. Okay, this is actual porn. Now, on Blue Sky and Twitter, do what you want, but this is on YouTube. And it's a lot more easily bypassable. What are you doing? Alright. I'm going to play this at 1.5x. And this won't be a long stream. I'm not going to cover this like all fucking day. I'm hopefully just going to cover this within an hour and a half and then go on my day.
I have been a very naughty boy, and I must apologize. For anyone that got sex pested from me lately and a bunch of weird screenshots passed around and just some weird sexting in general, while I was intoxicated, I apologize. I was just being a sex pest. What it is, as I mentioned before, came across a relative that had been passed away for several weeks and came across their body. So I got stressed out, got back into the nicotine, and got back addicted to some cigars. And as we know, nicotine is just as bad or worse than heroin when it comes to quitting. So what I do is I sedate myself to get back off of it because
NyQuil, nicotine, and alcohol.
I don't like to smoke. So I was going through that process. I figured, well, I'll jump on SL. That's the safest place to be while I'm like totally plastered on, booze and NyQuil and sleeping pills and stuff, trying to get through these withdrawals.
Again, if y'all don't want to watch this, that's completely fine. I get it. It's an old topic. But if he's going to go after all my accounts, all because I pissed him off, I'm at least going to provide context on this shit. I have taken reports on his channel. I put reports on his channel, so I am taking some action on that.
And it started off innocently enough, whereas I was just looking at dance animations and stuff for free, future projects and so forth. But then I came across some furniture and this furniture had menus, adult menus in it, and I basically posed ball myself and took screenshots, and it actually got pretty turned on. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of hot in a weird way. I actually got turned myself on a little bit, and I started I thought it would be a good idea for whatever reason, as horny and out of it and in the grieving process and going through the withdrawals. My little brain, my little sex pest of a brain, thought it would be a good idea to send everybody the screenshots and stuff like that. So yeah, consider this a formal apology. If you got any weird messages or screenshots from me fucking
Luckily, it's
myself
like
in
5 minutes.
sorry you had to see that. At least it was in SL though. Thankfully, didn't do it in VR chat. Lord, you could catch a charge doing something like that in VR chat. Thankfully, everybody over here are adults, and they're pretty much like my friends list is pretty much used to the weirdest degenerate stuff ever.
Okay, so while it is online, I still believe you need consent from the other person. I mean, it's just fucking common sense, right? From a moral standpoint. Now, I normally wouldn't care about this. We talk so much about what I used to do, and I will emphasize used to do, because my last post was to showcase an avatar I got from Gmod under VRChat, which was an SW Crystal one. Way months when, like 7 months ago. So, I could care less what he did back then. But this kind of highlights he does have his own personal issues, especially with alcoholism. And him getting back in, not rehabbing, him getting back into it and relapsing because I forced him to drink. And we capitalized off it.
So
this won't be a super long live stream, I promise you that. Just going over patterns that I've seen, and we're gonna move on from there. Because again, he wants to post every fucking thing about me to get his whatever dirties he can. I ignored it before the AD post he made about me.
Still, I feel like I should issue an apology. Especially after I checked in and saw Mika's story about. I should issue an apology. Especially after
Sex pest. A person who sexually harasses or assaults another person. A drunken sex pest who subjugated two women to a torrent of abuse. Now, I don't know if this ties into why he was also in prison, but considering that he does get out with his motorcycle and he does drink and he was arrested a couple times in prison, I would not doubt this was part of his history. And going back to... where is it? And then... not that one. My bad. But then going back to here, right? It kind of further implies it. So just want to put that in there.
checked in and saw Mika's story about the creeping on her in real life. I mean, I felt even worse because she's one of the people that I sex pested. So yeah, I got to. I mean, I don't know. It's between the combination of Jägermeister, NyQuil, and the withdrawals. Because like I said, I've been going through a weird grieving process. Like I said, we found the relative passed away, and it's just put me, I don't know, in a really weird mood.
Like, I get it. You see someone die, you want to forget about it. But if you have a feeling that your actions are going to affect others while intoxicated, I don't know, man. You should find a healthier way to deal with that shit. I'm just going to say it right here and now. I'm not going to be holier than thou and blame him for these past mistakes. But this kind of correlates into the bigger issue here.
And, yeah, sorry about that. My apologies.
I will be asking what you guys think about the whole 80s stuff and the Gunnar and all that shit after. Not about my shit specifically, but, like, you guys' in general. Again, the last time I've done it was, like, 7 months ago. And I've always took the precautions to be sure that minors can't see that sort of stuff, you know? We all have our private lives as adults, you know? If you find it that much of an issue, get over it.
I don't know. I got banned for some clubs. Like this, I did it earlier.
Mm-hmm. Banned.
But I think last night was
mentioned earlier.
Like I don't know. I've been going through some things, some spooky things. Getting ready to move down to the Great Smoky Mountains also. That's stressing me out. I need to get moved out of here before wintertime comes up. But yeah, if anyone was a quote-unquote victim of my unwarranted, unwanted advances, sincere apologies for that. I just... I need to not even get on. I need to break my fingers or something. I just, I when
He talks
I
about
am
that a lot
horny
with like
and
Sonic
I'm
Lowe's
drunk and I'm
punishment.
on the night
Oh, I'm
club,
gonna
I
break my
need to
fingers, and we need to break his
to
fingers.
just lock myself up in a cage, like a werewolf or something.
Okay, yeah, and he's joking about it. Like, you don't do that. If you're gonna apologize for sexual harassment, IRL or online or whatever, you don't joke about it. This is not like when fucking PewDiePie accidentally let the N word slip when he was on a bridge, right? Like, this is you sexually harassing somebody. He always does this. He jokes around to not embarrass himself, right? So I'm not gonna play all this here, but he basically takes someone what they said out of context. Now, the person lives of VR chat, also known as Critical Mindcat, did have some concerning things on here, where a Palestinian, a queer Palestinian supporter gets like kicked off of buildings. Like, I'm a defender of you guys. I'm on you guys' side. Like some weird right leaning stuff, right? But TDLR, he took another person out of context, and he rambles on. I would play this, but
Got back home, saw the video.
he rambles on and 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 on without getting to the point of what's going on, right? So he does that a lot. And sorry, I was also scrolling through in case there was anything else I was missing on here. But he's done this with other content creators for like no apparent reason. There is some. If you can give me a second. Here we go. This provides a little bit earlier context. Actually, no, this is the one I was going to show right after this. My bad. Because this was the misunderstanding, right? I wish you stopped content farming me. This is the Lips of VR chat person, by the way. I wish you stopped content farming me like a parasite you are. I don't mean offense, but what people post these days. Stop talking about me out of context. I'm not starting crap either, dude. People attack me because they know they're wrong. The grammar on here is kind of dog shit. I triggered Isaac because they attacked another YouTuber who's just as chill as you. He was teaching people to protect themselves. Isaac slammed him for it. Watched the video before attacking me. I hate this crap. I just wish people asked me more questions. Now, this is some other context, right? You've been calling me for EXE, a PDF since around September 10th, 2025, when I said you were an idiot for believing the mainstream narrative that Kirk was assassinated by a fur fag, femboy Fatale, who smuggled a 3006 up his butt and pulled an Assassin's Creed, and that I am somehow associated with Baby Cake 666. Baby Cake 666 is supposedly another predator that he defended, and he has commented on their videos multiple times. Because again, the guy is a child predator defender. So there's that. Some mastermind online fierce sex traffic cabal. You're literally making serious allegations that could get me arrested or worse, murder and or harmed in real life. And if you pulled this crap with other people too, you're probably stressing your family out and endangering them too. Isaac and myself will just clown you for content and make jokes, but some people would hunt you down for stuff you're doing. I don't know if that's an implied threat, but doesn't make him look good. Edit. Around 10th, 2025, I've been a few days or a week after the assassination. I think they're talking about Charlie Kirk still. But yeah, I've been silent and let your allocation slide that long. And you try to drag the whole fandom into your weeb war of yours with Isaac and the start of World War III, which is why I told Isaac that you guys don't speak for me. I've got no beef with Isaac as a furry. Look back on the comment, dude. Isaac attacked a furry dude. Dr. Detroit, he didn't do anything. If anyone attacks other people, I get involved. What's the issue? If you're going to clown on me, these might be a little out of order, by the way, but whatever. If you're going to clown on me as well, I'll just post a video I didn't want to post because you weren't worth the energy. I'm not you. Post what you want, but don't expect a reply from me, which you're gonna fucking do anyway. Yes, I was gonna clown you like so many others, but I have realized you are legit having some issues for your own sake. I'm not continuing this engagement or feed your demons. So we got some more self-projection. Why do I keep getting recommended the secret text? Jesus fucking Christ, hold on. It's because I watch Ben 10 shit. I get fucking shit like that. I do not like the secret tricks. There we go. Going back. Going back. Demons, there we go. I believe once Isaac realizes this, will step back and disengage too. Also, when you continue this activity and get yourself in real trouble, which will eventually happen later down the road, don't act surprised or like myself and countless individuals, including your own family and doctor, apparently from the Michael T99 mystery comment, tried getting you to hang it up and stop. The warning bells are ringing, but you're unable to hear them. I'll be in the graveyard for arrival. I wish you see reason. I say you look legit, but you're looking things in the wrong direction. That was my criticism. That's why I criticized Isaac for not listening to Dr. Detroit. Context is important. Grasping at straws is a powerful manipulation tool. If it were up to me, I'd tell you something or so of why I make the videos the way I do and why I hate them. That's why I tried to contact you through VRChat in the first place, but I don't think you even knew. Just look at the old comment from episode 11. I have issues, yes, but I have so many reasons why I hate people like Isaac and the Pride hunting community and trolling. They all attack me because I know the truth. So he's up this guy's alley, right? Like, you would think that him and Spooky would actually sit down and have a conversation because they're kind of alike in that. And whenever someone offers to talk in VR chat on a stream, whatever, he gets so defensive and then starts attacking you and attacking your criticisms. Because he feels like it's a personal attack. If people dig in, they might find something they may not want to find about Spooky. At least that's how it comes off. And I find that extremely weird. Like, if you know you're not that guilty, why would you feel the need to defend yourself that much? Now, I guess you could say the same about me, right? With AD stuff. Which, again, is a little embarrassing. I haven't done, like, any VR porn in, like, months. You know, I have a partner. I want to keep my gooning on the down low a bit. If I ever do go back to that, it would be with her permission, stuff like that. But I try to ultimately leave that behind, as I rather keep what I do in private. And I wouldn't be so mad at the criticism if he wasn't a hypocrite. Because, again, if you look back, this is uncensored. Like, if you click the video, it shows full nipple and pussy. And he has more than one video going to this. I'm going to get to the stuff in a minute. Like, he says all this is satire, but he does it a lot. Well, this is tasteful nudity. How's it any different from what I do? Or what I used to do, rather. He had another one in here, semi-recent. If I scroll down, I could probably find it. But as you can see, he has quite a lot of these, right? Now I gotta be careful also scrolling down. But he literally does the exact same thing. Granted, he does on YouTube, where even though it's not like full-blown like ERP, like, he does have a couple videos where they're in latex or they're almost completely naked with their bits out. Like, I don't know if he has any with, like, dicks and shit, but he had recorded his friends fully naked. Like the video I showed above earlier. There was at least one more in here, which also has a censored thumbnail, so, you know, we're being careful. Yeah, this one. This one right here. Full blown. I'm gonna change scenes in a second, because I want to read his comment, because I want to pick apart this hypocrisy in a sec. So let me change scenes real quick, so I don't accidentally show it. I gotta be really careful. Okay. I don't know where the other two hidden comments are, but whatever. Okay, give me a second. Changing scenes back. Oh. Warning, 18 plus NSFW artistic and technical nudity. Oh yeah, Milo, he made a edit of the censor, by the way, with you and pineapples on my penis, so yeah, this guy's has out for you too, apparently. This is how when lights looked before the environmental enhancement project, blah blah blah. Army wants to upload more of these shadow lighting test footage for archive and preservation purposes, as the old system was lost forever, but as you see, I was testing skin texture, lighting, and shadows, so our favorite Roxy is nude. And website frowns upon nudity even if it's fictional. Oops. Which you're doing to me, because, well, Red says protect the children. I never said that adults couldn't do what they want to do in private or upload porn if they want to, because, again, we're adults. I'm pretty sure normal people jerk it to porn once in a while, whether it be VR chat, IRL, whatever, as long as it's normal. My problem is when they make it accessible going into 13 plus lobbies. I've seen people actually go ooh, into 13 plus lobbies and literally have like their porn linked in their bio. And that's where I usually have a complaint, or someone like Mama Puptails, which has like Cub AI art, like Hub AI art, and her and that dog avatar. So if we're talking about Red Rocket, one, my Smiler has a big humanoid one, and two, that person was literally in a dog avatar, not an anthro. All right, so just want to point that out real quick. I do eventually call this out. I'm going to scroll back up, and I'll get back to some of his double standards in a second, regarding him just framing people. So if you just give me like 1 second, I gotta probably switch scenes again, because I don't really trust this chud. Where was it? I saw it a second ago. Forgive me, give me a second, I gotta find it again. Not that one. I gotta go back for it. But me and him had a whole argument about it, and that's more on me, right? I should not have engaged with them on that, but again, he's saying I'm a predator because I used to do AD content. And most of those pics were just myself. And like no one else. So, and I've even asked everyone that followed me if they are above age. So I always was careful with what I did, especially in private, posting NSFW. Trying to find the one, because I saw it a second ago. And now I lost track because I kept talking about this fucking retard. Check my watch history. Give me a second. I'll look at comments in a sec. I don't want to get too distracted. Because right now I'm having a spooky moment where I'm losing track. And I'd rather not this be a longer video than it needs to be and have to perseverate. Jesus Christ, come on. Actually, I get the notification bell. That will lead me to the video a bit quicker. Here we go. Oh, that's not it. That's the post I made about it. There we go. Found it. All right. Oh, okay. Some more mental gymnastics for everybody. If I could zoom in a little, that would probably help. There we go. Yep, totally satire, and not on Twitter or Blue Sky that has actual filters and tools to prevent minors from seeing this. I don't give a fuck. It's so satire and not sex pest material. Yep, so funny and intellectually satire. Engaging satire. Don't even try to compare this to obviously satirical content, adult or otherwise, within YouTube's TOS to your literal uploading of dog cocks to VR chat for a legit ERP game. All my characters that I use are anthro. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot worse than me putting a cock like that onto an anthro avatar. Whatever, right? VR chat for legit ERP in a game full of children. YouTube has never been a website designed for children. The intro alone should be enough to enforce the point that this is a satire, not to mention the wolf spider iPhone jump scare my friend Jackie with her wolf spider avatar at the end. It was done in a pornographic fashion, unlike your. It was not done in a pornographic fashion, unlike your FNAF and MLP hyperinflation fetishes. I'll get into that in a second. Like I've mentioned before, I'm not into hyperinflation. They just had like a really thick avatar that I liked, and so I saved the post. And then I realized I did a lot of inflation stuff. So it's like, all right, whatever. I'm just not going to like those other posts. The MLP thing, there is a My Little Pony character also named Red Heart, which I didn't know about until years later. I called myself Red Heart because I used to be called Gunheart, and I played a lot of Monster Hunter to where I mainly used guns and shit for my playthroughs. Not my playthroughs like I've recorded them, but like when I played them, like by myself. So I call myself Red Heart to change the name and then also pay homage to Eric the Red. And FNAF. Fashes. Sure, YouTube is full of adult content from tasteful nudity. It's not a kid's website. Us 18 plus within YouTube COS could still be satirical or not. As you said, adults being adults. You're failing all over the place and dragging Herbla and Milo Murphy's reputation down with you. Keep it up. I don't think I'm really dragging anyone's reputation down. The worst I'm doing is I'm annoying Milo by talking about this. I think this is as far as that really goes. As for Herbla, I didn't really bug him until I saw the porn that he has on here, which again, full nipple and pussy, by the way. And I said, if Herbla doesn't want to talk about this, he doesn't have to. I'm just bringing up to his attention in case this is a topic he still wants to talk about. And that was my girlfriend that gave me the suggestion for it. Again, I left him alone up until he posted my AD and stuff and tried to smear me as some weird predator because, oh god, I was an adult and did things with other adults. What the fuck are you talking about? You can obsessively scour the internet for days and weeks trying to find all these little breadcrumbs, which is what he's doing about me, for gay ops and dox purposes that ultimately... And that's what I'm afraid of, is him doxing me, which is why I'm trying to protect myself. That ultimately amount to nothing. I'm not 27, by the way. Gotcha again, Among Us Pro XD, but yet you gaslight about there being no evidence on Celestios, which I never said. I said that you never had evidence on him. Lava word differently. God smite me. Even though the source of said clips posted from his own channel and live streams. Furthermore, your overly sexual and predatory comments about modulates, and she will confirm this because you think we're intimate, is another compulsive lie, and we have no contact outside of YouTube. You think I was calling on Herbla? No, I was calling him out. There's a difference between you guys finding out, you guys making it look like complete frauds. Good job. Okay, you were literally crying, Herbla, roar, Milo Murphy, please save me, please save me, crying. While calling them out. All those preds that you were making, not preds, all those trolls that you were making fun of and chastising for months, you finally call them their help like they're the goddamn Avengers. And I wouldn't doubt he's also tried to delete any fucking comments I made. I think I've only left this one, and then he kept going on. Everyone knows first, ESC is a joke to make fun of people like you and the bias that YouTube has on censorship. It's not a secret. Oh my fucking god, it's so freaking hilarious. First of the docs, Among Us docs, then the Red Rocket, and now this caliber of Herbla Milo Murphy fans right here. Also, you're such a liar. This video is filtered in age grade on YouTube. That is, but still can be easily bypassable compared to other websites. YouTube does have age restriction filters or literally caught in 4K nonstop compulsive liar or Milo losing credibility. They're not going to lose credibility. The worst thing, they're going to talk about me talking about this. So I'm the only one that might be damaged from this shit. At the end of the day, he keeps going on and on and on how I'm dragging them through the mud and all this other stuff. Yet I doubt my actions are really going to affect them that much. The worst I'm going to do is annoy Milo by talking about this. That's it. I think that's like the absolute worst that could come out of like his or Herbla's end, right? But going back, he does take things out of context quite often. I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna go back to this because I think you guys get the idea. I wanna get through this fucking live stream. So let me get this straight. This whole video was made about just to make me apologize to you. Yeah, I watched the whole thing and make a video addressing this crap. This could be the last time I ever talk about you. And unfortunately, I can't find the video because he rebranded since that point. So whatever. Let me spank you with some discipline here, dude. You just made yourself look and sound dumber for you to call me a pedophile. And by the way, I've never even commented on baby cakes. If I did, I would be like any other people who knows he's a monster, and then you outright told me I should talk to him. Are you on drugs? Are you not on medication? This video the whole time gives me the main character syndrome vibes, and it's not hard. And it's hard to take you very seriously. And you act like we've been at each other's throats for every single day. Meanwhile, I don't give two craps about you, what you do on the internet. Meanwhile, you are obsessed with me, it seems. But thank you for the content. I already made a video ready to end your stupid drama, and next time don't fuck with YouTubers like me who actually cares about the horrible things people are doing. Like me, who actually give a fuck, you know? You stupidly expose yourself as a weirdo who emphasizes with baby cakes. People already know he's a pedophile. He's 30 years old and uses kids for this crap. And you saying that Sonic Woe is not a worse pred compared to others is wild. You were simply part of the problem, and you wonder why you have beef with other people, and now you drag it with me. That's going to be your downfall. Your problem is that you don't even do research, and that is also true. He just hovers his mouse over a user and then talks about and repeats himself for like 5, 10, 20 minutes, upward to an hour. You also lied on YouTube. You didn't leave one comment on baby cakes. You actually left 4. Most of it is you emphasizing with baby cakes, which gives me the right to assume you're a predator defender, even if I did call you a pedophile, so what? And to prove my point, I did a speedrun on looking into all baby cakes videos and finding your comments, and the comments that I made you mention that are unrelated, because it doesn't even matter because of how backward and confusing your logic is. You just said I commented to baby cakes, which I didn't recall because I hate the motherfucker, and then you told me to go talk baby cakes. Dude, what have you been smoking? And I agree. You're bitching that he's talking baby cakes, and now you want him to talk baby cakes. To be friends with him? So all these predators aren't bad people, but if you call out these predators, you're somehow the worst predator, even if you're not a predator. Yeah, that's logic. You even kept repeating the same thing over and over again, which is why I had to skip through all of it, because it was so annoying. And all of what I said will be in the video, and I don't have the time to deal with libtards such as people like you. You clearly have zero knowledge of what's really going on, and I implore you to do better. I honestly would have given you the benefit of it. Oh my god. Would have given you the benefit of the doubt and give you some advice, but after what I've seen in this video alone, you're clearly a total whack job. It's not me being a jerk, but I honestly hope you get the help you need, seriously. Yeah. Okay, I want to go back to... I know I'm skipping around a lot. I'm going to cover this in a minute, Shadow Blood Union, or show host clause. I'm going to get into that in a second. But just to go back one more time to that other video that I was talking about. We already covered this, so I could give a fuck about that. And I'll be reading comments in a second. I don't want to get too distracted because I'm already jumping all over the place here. I'm like Spooky. I want to keep my shit somewhat structured. Pause that before actual porn starts playing. He has some other ones in here. Hold on. I think it was in here. Where it has my censored, you know what. Shit, there was something else in here I was going to read, but whatever. I think I'm somewhat out of line here. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure you get the gist of this one, but he refuses to have any sort of accountability. Actually, hold on. I'm sorry, I know I'm jumping. I think I found the video I was talking about. 1 second. That's why I had all these other tabs, so I don't get too distracted. Then again, it is a live stream. Alright, I'm gonna have to switch scenes again, because I don't know if we're gonna jump straight into porn. Okay. Oh no, okay, I already showed up comments on this one. Alright. We're gonna speed this along. We're gonna speed this along. Because I'm almost done talking about this shit. Now, this is what started all this drama in the first place. This right here. And I was trying to be as constructive as I could be. And I even said, like, no disrespect. Okay, so based on what I've seen, with all due respect, this is a nothing burger. Like, or I think she did an okay job with explaining her end and debunking what the whole lolicon meme response. And this is when I was a little bit on Module's side at the time. So just bear with me. Okay, so based on what I've seen, with all due respect, this is a nothing burger. Like Roar, I think she did an okay job with explaining her and debunking, but the whole lolicon meme response was still out of pocket. Like, if they evidently looked young and did some lewd shit, that would have been enough for her to say, yeah, I should not react to it. That's 100% on her and an admission of guilt. I do agree with her on the meme part to an extent on the horse, but even as Celestia's put it, the difference is between the source and what she did was the guy should just get the fish, and she, while she didn't post the OG clip, still showed a horse's private area, and besides one Toriel photo, she failed to show us the rest of the unblurred parts to defend her in, right? Because Celestios was right. Now I'm gonna level. As of late, I agreed that Celestios and his partner act immature and just sort of rush the thing with Ozai. Not saying I'm his biggest fan. I even said it right here. I'm not his biggest fan. And a lot of this just seems more like a hit piece towards them than actually solving anything. And I do have my criticisms with Celestios and Strong C, now more towards Celestios, but that's irrelevant right now. It's kind of. You claim that they harassed you, which I did see on Strong's comment, and Celestia's accusing a random person they disagree with it, asking them if they're a predator, which was immature, but you failed to show us exactly how they blew you off and mistreated you. Lacking those receipts looks bad and distasteful on your end. I'm not with Celestios or these bigger content creators, as I'm really just trying to stay neutral with all due respect towards you. This was a nothing burger. If you're going to claim harassment on Celestios and Strong Cena's end, please show us more receipts. So I was willing to see it. You claiming to be attacked in a home invasion and shit several times doesn't really help, and it seems more like a personal call out than holding someone accountable. Edit. I am, sorry, I fucked up this grammar here. I'm willing to contact you over Discord if you have any receipts, or you yourself can just post them on your YouTube. But overall, this was a major yap fest, and just running the video fast without taking time to pause and break down parts, nor put actual receipts on the video, unlike Modulus and Celesticos, which is very poor on your end. Especially since you said you didn't do research, everything not so good journalism on your part on this video. Again, no disrespect. And, I thought from here he would have just taken the criticism, and he did a bit. He was like, all right. The only reason I know who they are, the names, or anything about the predator hunting communities because of said harassment and their fan base. I didn't know who the heck they were or anything about VRChat predator hunting community until I got attacked as the past offense, such as Boy Doghouse or Britbong returns incidents. I will get those receipts in due time, which he didn't end up doing at all. Not my first rodeo. I will be undeniable in the end when I'm getting around to it. And I waited for a bit to have him show his end, but, it is what it is. With all that said, it is not a claim when it's formally documented by law enforcement with court records and evidence, but alright, I guess you want me to dox myself or something. You don't have to dox yourself, just show some fucking receipts that you were in a house invasion, which you don't have to do, but it would help with your case, right? Because you keep mentioning it. Who knows, maybe I will at a later date address all of the real world stuff happening in the past, but until then, you're coming across as extremely disrespectful, intended or not, with that, because if you can't understand why a real world online victim of crimes is getting attacked by communities that claim to protect victims is bad and breaks trust, I don't think a thing I will say here will matter. And this is behavior he carried to Herblaw, where he just won't talk about it. But whatever. Until then, I've gotten some past instances with receipts just to prove I don't say stuff without being able to back it up. Stay tuned. And of course he doesn't, and you know the deal. Sorry for my fucking recommended posts here. Like I said, I am a gooner and I like tokusatsu, so. And it was not until he started attacking me that's why I took it seriously, And even Roar here gave his response, which is why I mentioned him earlier. So he goes discussing something directly. We tried that with you several times, but okay. So, you literally say you haven't deep dived into the evidence and are talking about modules at face value, but then accuse others of doxing and blackmail. Respectfully, my gut feeling isn't evidence. And she gave valid criticism, right? She did a very good job of showing your lack of credibility and merit. As for interesting the gut, I am very excited, aka Draculus, aka O2 TRS, the real world victim of an invasion at the age of 16, and the individual was victimized and stopped by Boy Doghouse and Keemstar Goons for nearly 10 years in relation to the Britbog Returns drama that been viciously attacked for no reason by your stupid fan base and the pred hunting community in general. And when I tried to reach out and be civil about it, you guys just blew me off and mocked me, which is what you do all the time, by the way. Take your own advice on the evidence bullshit, as mine is very well documented, even though it is not here directly on this channel yet. This is old news. Everything that happened, there's multiple witnesses, there's tons of evidence. I haven't seen any evidence to deep dive except for some half-assed allegations. Where is the evidence at? Where's it posted? I can't find it. Jesus Christ, I have a freaking job in life, which you don't. But okay. Again, sorry. Gooner content over there. Have to take a lot of the stuff at face value. I'm not chronicling you guys, which is a fucking lie. Translation: I have no evidence. I'm a miserable, self-projecting person with no life. I'm the one who's chronicling a lie. But okay, Spooky, do your thing. Alright, so I think we covered most of this. I'm going to get to the jail part in a minute, so we got to play Herblaw's live stream. But if we go, he actually uses his alt account to try and win an argument. That's me again, by the way. Where is it? I think it was this one. It was one of these three.
Aside from like trying to dance and exercise, which I need to get.
Not this one.
No proof of it, bro.
Oh, actually, while we're here, EDLR spooky face in-game harassment from randos in VR chat, and for some reason blames Celestios. I don't know, we never interacted with this person, just appeared in our comment section. So, I was going to add to this. So, he takes what other people did to him and assume that everyone does it, or everyone's exactly like Spooky, who's a piece of shit. But, okay.
No proof of it, bro.
Where is it? Here we go. This is what I find absolutely funny. I think he was on my channel too, whatever. If he's been messing with you, you can block him. It's not that bad. If you're getting cyberbullied, you should take a break. He does care about the community. This is Herblaw, by the way, they're talking about. He does care for the community and the victims, but when it's a grown man who can do something about himself, you're not the type of victim he cares about. Which still had a conversation, but whatever. I was a Celestials fan too. I'm sure what he did was super messed up, and it hurt over 50k people who looked up to him, but it seemed like the only insult you have is that he was a fanboy. You're getting rage baited by this guy who you can easily block and report for cyberbullying if he really hurts you that much. Let's even... Okay, pardon me, I was trying to rage bait because this guy's a fucking moron, but it's not until you try to attack me. So, Blocking obviously doesn't work on ults. You're dumb. XD. Spooky. Blocking works on literally any account. And your point? Okay, so here's when he's schizo, talking with himself. You'll see the furry XE thing. And your point, I agree with Spooky Awoo, you're dumb. I agree with Spooky Awoo, you're dumb. I agree with Spooky Awoo, you're dumb. He is literally using his alt account to win an argument. That's sad. Block and report him. I really only said it 4 times. And, oh, thank you, Furry EXE. I'm glad. God, he's still talking about himself. Even a derpity doogoo for brain, silly Billy. Fucking God, this corny ass nigga. Easter egg alt reference. Furry can see how naive someone like Devils is. He must be new to the internet. Tough read. And at this point, I'm convinced you like the attention you're getting. You make so many videos about how you hate it, yet you do nothing about it. And this could be him trying to rage bait him as well, but even then, he doesn't really do anything to defend himself here, so what the fuck are you actually doing? Lol, okay, you're irrelevant. Since blocking directly telling people to leave him alone doesn't work, making videos lying on the situation, exposing their bad behavior so these individuals will eventually end up like Spooky Woo's graveyard to dance upon. Literally every single person that's ever texted Spooky, again, talking about himself, like this has ended up their facts. Might be time consuming and annoying, but thus far, every single person messed with him like that's end up buried. He's a great track record, has a great track record. And this continues for a while. You can look at the video and read yourself. But he has continued this for a while, talking about gay ops and all these like fucking 4chan terminologies. Oh, furry XE is friendly for the most part. Sometimes trolls should block them. Yeah, no. So he talks about me using alt accounts, and yet this guy will really talk to himself using his alt account. Oh no, I'm scared. I'm terrified of what this cringe adult man is gonna do to me. Yeah, so obviously it's just him bitching and playing. Oh, also if you're a minor, the predator catching you commentary. Oh, that actually reminds me. Going back one more time. There was another video where he's like, it was one of the reaction ones with the Lips of VR chat. He's getting mad at a minor for wanting to unsubscribe because how dare you have a different opinion, right? And then like rashing out the kid saying that I don't want a kid following me. Yet you always talk about defending kids too. That you rather have the harassment happen to you than a kid. And are crashing out because a kid doesn't want to follow your account. So I just find all this funny. Again, the only reason I'm reacting to this is because you want to talk about my fucking AD like it's the end of the world. Like, dude, I made porn 7 months ago. Get over it. And all those photos were of myself. The only time I had like another person was my boyfriend at the time, who is 21 or 22 now. I knew his age prior, so. So here is the Red Rocket video, the infamous Red Rocket video. I'm sorry to curse your eyes with this shit. Shadow Blood Union. I want to get into that real quick. Actually, because I'm going to forget. And then we'll talk about the prison stuff. Let's see, 1 hour and 7 minutes. I do want to wrap this up soon, so. And then I'll read my comments and see what you guys are saying and all that stuff. I just don't want to get too distracted because I know I will be distracted. Let's see. And if Spooky's in here, I'm willing to talk to you. I am willing to have an honest conversation if you could just be mature. Because I want to be, let's be known, I don't want attention from this. I took Milo Murphy's advice and just left it alone up until you started going after my other accounts to try and change the story. Then I took it seriously. So if you're going to do something like that, I'm going to defend myself. If that's what I gotta do. And the fact that you're trying to milk content from an autistic person and attack them over something that's not even that bad just kind of shows. I hate using the autistic card, but that's literally what he's doing. Give me a second here. I gotta find a censored version of what I'm talking about. So just give me a second to work through my shit here. Give me a second. I actually scroll up to find it. Because I don't want to end up showing the uncensored version of it. Sent it to somebody here. Fuck, I don't think I can find it. Hold on. I got an idea. because he made actual like AI cub porn. Shadow host clause, whatever you want to call them. And that's kind of what I'm trying to showcase here. So if you just give me a second to find it. But yeah, like I said, I don't want attention from this. I know it looks like it, and I don't blame anyone for thinking that way. I really don't. This is drama I rather not. Oh, there it is. This is drama I rather not revisit. But again, I'm getting sick of him going after all my accounts. And it's only a matter of time until he like tries to find out my name and stuff, which I think it's kind of accessible. So anyway, give me a second. So show host clause, or what's his face? Shadow Blood Brother Union literally uploaded this to another person because they got fucking phantom pregnant by their altars. I don't think that was my face. Oh, there we go. That wasn't my face, was this? Yeah. What popped out of my womb? Yeah, that's what he fucking did. Alright, this art you see right here. This is what you see right here, right? Give me a second. Is literally what this guy did. This is weird. You were entitled to feel this is weird. Right? My content. You were entitled to feel that way. And I'm sorry for even having to show this off. But anything is better than literally this. This is disgusting. And that is what, and that is what Shadow Blood Brother is doing. But I guess Spooky didn't look into any of this shit, right? He'll take anyone's side as long as they have a hate boner. Oh, okay. So we're almost done with this. We're going to get to the prison part, and then we'll end it off here. While wasn't their whole shtick about railing against such questionable content, it can come Billy tisk tisk all of those skeletons in the closet coming up to play. I've got tons of extra eyes on me with blank accounts tickling my algorithmic prostate to make such revelations even more visible. I've got one last video, Lost Media, never uploaded from 2024. General relation to this whole topic, locked and loaded, and I'll be moving to the campus for summer semester. I'll be offline, unable to spam or reply. Hooray, stay tuned, it's a fascinating encounter. Other content vigilantes aren't real heroes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, and you can look this up yourself. I'm not going to play that video, but he's talking about, like, he'll want to get into cybersecurity to fuck with people who have messed him up in the past. You can actually find it on my YouTube post. I might actually go on there, but the same guy, Blood Shadow Brother Union, who made this art, and I'm going to keep reminding people he made this art, this disgusting cub art, look what popped out of my womb, said that if you really want to be a thorn in his side, report that Smiler Avi and try to get banned. I'm sure he won't miss it. Just a small suggestion. I was also never here. Just if you really want to hit nerve to report that Avi and get banned again. Well, you say you wasn't here, but you're here. And I can re-upload that Avi, but okay. So I said, bro, you also posted porn. I should have added CP. Maybe that would have gotten his attention. Because he keeps defending, like, well, oh yeah, he says that, like, the weeb community is worse, especially with lollies and shit, and yet he has a little video of a lolly twerking, or busting down. Or no, they were bending over, but it's still weird. So I want that to sink in. Porn isn't the issue here. Your behavior, along with Milo Murphy and Herbla supporting it, is especially concerning their sensationalism. I'm pretty sure Milo Murphy isn't a gooner. But, okay. Has clearly... Jesus Christ. Has clearly fueled such activity. Speaking of, I'm not 27, by the way. I put that in Among Us video. Debate further proof. Oh, well, you know it was a joke, right? You're stupid for believing I was 27. Huh? Like Herbla said, and I think this is something glitchy quote from Herbla, pretending to... trolling as a retard isn't a good troll. especially if you are one. That's me saying it. You can find the most minute breadcrumbs to try to twist them maliciously, like that failed doxing attempt, hook, line, and sinker. But you act like you didn't see the evidence I posted on Celestials, even though it was sourced from his channel live streams. Which you don't even do that. And he said he didn't even really look into all that stuff. Again, it's not about adult content, but you never. But oh my god, sorry. Again, it's not about adult content, but about you screaming "Save the children" while uploading extremely gross SW 18 plus fetish crap up to a game full of kids, and then having major YouTubers that claim to be predator hunters and against that stuff, and then turning a blind eye to it while you obsessively stalk people trying to make serious false allegations. Wow, not like you're doing that. You're doing all the stuff that you're accusing everyone else of doing in fashion to keep the attention off yourself. Okay, sure. And you never did? No, I never did ever upload anything like that to VRChat. Ever. Facts. Factual. I just make silly dance videos and stick to gaming lobbies. I have never done erotic roleplay in VRChat. That is a fucking lie. I may not have the proof, but I doubt you're telling the truth on that. That is a fucking lie. If you're so comfortable gooning in Second Life, actually, hold on. I want to look this up real quick. I want to read the rest of this. So hold on. Second Life, age range, and allowed ages. Minimum age. Just text a minimal age. Now, if we go over to here, you can see the age to play Second Life. To own an account, you have to be at least 16. If you have serious close to someone be under 16, file an AR. So we have multiple sources here that says you have to be 16. You have multiple answers on this, right? All of these are saying 16. Linden Lab. If you're less than 18 years old, or of the legal age majority in your jurisdiction, if greater, and over 16 years of age, and you may access the general area of Second Life. So, and when I was 13 or 12 playing this fucking game, around that age, I saw a lot of NSW content on Second Life, and even considered going to ERP on there. I was a dumb fucking kid. But at least I acknowledge it, right? But all these sources saying that they're 16, so that blows his argument, like, right out of the water. Because he mentions that, oh, only adults are on there. Okay. Okay, sure. I'm ultra wholesome and conservative in that game for the very reason it being full of kids. It's awkward, and I find it weird you can get an erection in such an environment. You're wearing Gunnar avatars in that, which doesn't help you because your Fur EXE account literally has... I'm going to go back to it. What the fuck is it? Give me a second. Sorry, I'm losing the plot again here. Ah. All these videos are just like Gunnar dance videos, right? Even if it's tasteful, you're doing literally the exact same thing. If not, also posting your friends nude on here. We got Jacopose, we got Spread Eagle, we got all this stuff. Oh, I gotta be careful. I don't know if this is porn. But this is still not an okay look. Some of these I almost thought were like fully SW because like the shading, I almost thought that was like a nipple. And even though it's safe work based, again, you're doing this in nude avatars, but okay. You're totally in the right? This is totally make fun of Gunnar culture. Okay. You are welcome to believe that, if that really helps you sleep at night. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a little worked up, because again, you want to go after all my accounts. Even the Fur EXE videos that utilize VRC, if you want to watch them, that aren't anything extremely pornographic, despite some tasteful nudity here and there, again, as a joke account to make fun of people like yourself, which kind of proves to be the opposite, other than that one satire post. And YouTuber biases on censorship in general. Everyone knows it's satire and not serious. It's it could, oh my god, hold on. It's blatantly obvious it's a joke channel. Even the birthday running gag does aim is aim in comparison. If you want to pay attention, to exception of 1 or 2 videos, and all of them have limited nudity is from Second Life, not VR Chat. Which Second Life again has minors. The age below 18 that you can go for is 16 if you're going to make an account. Well, on the topic, it's the vile and gross sexual comments made against Modulace. Let me set you straight. She doesn't interact with anyone outside of public YouTube comment sections and is only doing it to troll you guys low key because she knows you're down bad thirsty. She actually went on my. Do I have it still? She actually did respond to me, and she was actually trying to be decently civil, but I still want to run along with the gag that she's his side piece. If I could find it, I have it screenshotted. If I can't find it, I can't find it. Oh, fucking well. But she did actually reach out not too long ago. But, you know, whatever. Oh, shit. Give me a second. I misclicked something. All the gross comments he made towards Avanchi Lace, blah 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 blah. Charlie guy's location is down by Thursday. It's not. It's like how when she made the response video and sat in Celestia's throne to troll him, she's taking the piss out of you. Only person I've gotten inappropriate like that was with lately has been Minka Purple from Second Life, and I already did a video on that. Minka and myself are still good friends. Feel the incident made us closer, which you can see here didn't. Although I got mad and removed the dumb bitch, basically because she won't shut up about sobriety, which I agree with her on, but she's so obnoxious about it. Yeah, just refer to all women as bitches. Okay. Isn't tasteful nudity also weird in a game with minors, bud? Like how you're, like now you're defending it. How stupid are you? YouTube isn't a game, and Second Life isn't for minors, bud. Second Life has minors in there. VR Chat isn't for minors, and we still have minors in there. It's part of the TOS. Right? And Blue Sky isn't a game, which I posted all of my shit onto there. Which is far less serious than posting full-blown nudity on YouTube. You've been smoking too much, bud. YouTube isn't a game, and Second Life isn't for minors. Also, nudity isn't pornographic by nature. That is true. There is art that depicts nudity in like a pure or artistic or anything like that, but this is literally just gooner. There's nothing transformative about it. Which I could give a fuck less, but you're calling me out for posting it on a website far away from YouTube. Which is why I'm upset. Because I know you're going to go on the full-on doxing if you had the opportunity. You mentioned yourself you want to get cybersecurity for it. This is why art museums, paintings, textbooks, statues, beaches, etc. allow public nudity. What are you doing is straight up pornographic. However, you have sexual encounters around children, and an ultra-lewd avatar is light years away from skimpy clothing in a dance video, bud. Okay, what proof do you have that was around children when this happened? If I were to go to get adults, it would be in age-gated instances. The most I would do is I would go on Discord and see who wants to fuck. Because there are, like, dedicated ERP Discords and all that stuff. Again, what you do in private is not my business unless you're being a fucking weirdo, which I'm not judgment-free. But yeah, you know, this guy wants to continue his fucking narrative. First of all, I keep my sex life away from minors, but out of curiosity, if I can't post myself in a sexualized smiler naked, why can you post naked Second Life characters on YouTube? Blue Sky isn't a game, and I posted it on that platform. You're borderline a pedophile, not straight up one. What I'm starting to think, given how much you're lying about everything and projecting on top of trying to cover up the dyslexia situation. Oh! Kind of like what you're doing! Coming from me, someone who was reluctant to even say that about Celestia's and Sonic O, I think you are a pedophile with lots of hide. I hope you get fucking caught. I wanted to reply with, I hope he kills himself drinking, but I don't know. I don't know if that ever went through. So what you're doing right now, basically. For real, starting to think the whole reason you're doing all this is because your weird obsession with is similar to Boy Doghouse, and you're projecting your personality is very predatory in general. Like what you're doing. The stalking, the obsessing, the false allegations, which is also what you're doing. Then finding all the weird shit you're into. Yeah, lay off, bud. Weird side of Fiercha had a weed problem too. And I pray you drink yourself to death, though. Sadly, we can't always get what we want. That's what I said to him. Thankfully, that went through. I would not be surprised one bit if I found out you're a chomo. I have no idea what the fuck it means. I think I've heard it before. Jesus, fuck me. And not you fuck me, Spooky, but like fuck me as in I have to read this shit. And again, anyone who knows me knows I don't say stuff like that lightly about, but your behavior and all this again over years seems sus. Is that way in the basement with all the other meds? It's that way really in the basement on meds. Oh, like you. Jesus fucking Christ. Like this is just like this part's also projection because someone also pointed out that you are on meds. Right here. And that you live in squalor. You live in filth. But this nigga has the audacity and the goal to talk about my life and what I do in private and sexually harass me on the internet. I may have made my comments towards Modulace, but she's a weird fuck. And she's defending you. It may have been childish, and I'm willing to at least take accountability on that, but it's not like she's undeserving of it. So what you're doing right now still. Because I'm not, or like you actively seeks to harm people or ERP around children. I can't say you ERP around children, Spooky, but you definitely like to harm people actively. So this is where I just give up and I start sexually harassing him back. Just a bit deeper. Good boy. Let me try to make this easy for your brain to process. I do not have virtual sex in VR chat like you. I do not upload dog dicks like you. I do stand to play a game. Who's to say you don't have a fucking dog dick on any of your Anthro Second Life avatars? But okay. You're such a creep. I won't say flat out chomo, which you did earlier. I'm getting sex offender vibes from the clown. It's not one of the reasons I don't like him. Stop projecting, Karen. Go a bit deeper. And then this is where he was responding to Shadow earlier. Funny is reporting his penis might be deleting dick evidence of his bad behavior, allowing an easy way out. It's not my intent. Plus, he could make alts, re-upload, never stop at Gangster, Boy Doghouse, etc. Stop comparing all these people to me. Jesus fucking Christ. This guy has been sussing over me over a year and been doing stuff like this ever since I called Celestials out. Frankly, having more respect for Celestials by this point. Oh, he's a Celestials fan now. This point, and having some grace by committing virtual seppuku. I'm going to leave this up, seppuku. I'm going to leave this up. That more web says over me, the more people see it. He's been making posts, live streams, and videos about me nonstop for a year now, which he has no fucking proof, and it's shown on my channel. Think Modulus is a big dum-dum for telling me to just ignore it, because that's clearly doesn't work. That did up until you started fucking... You kept doing it and uploading my fucking VR chat porn shit. Which, again, 7 months ago. Alright, I'm pretty sure you guys have your opinions, so I'm going to read comments real quick, and we'll get into the jail thing. And then that'll be it for this live stream, because I'm not going to spend a whole day talking about this show. Why are you talking about him? Okay, I saw that post of his chat, is fun, and it was funny, lol. He owned you, but you should have ignored it. Oh, shit, give me a second. You trolling, not gonna lie. We all know he's a big loser. You shouldn't engage anymore past the Herbal stream. Yeah, I went to report those videos. Lol. Okay, he did own me. I'll give him that. But don't give him fucking leeway. Come on, man. Don't give him leeway. Oh, what games do I emulate? I'll get into that in a second. And see, I'm not even mad at, like, fucking Milo said I got owned. Because, I'm not gonna lie, I was upset. But I'm not gonna be, like, spooky and pretend I'm not. I mean, I don't care at the end of the day to where it's like, gonna ruin my life. But, you know... If Milo Nurbla doesn't have a problem, like, who the fuck cares? It's me being an adult on the internet. So, you know what? I got out trolled, and I'll even admit that. I don't take any offense to what Milo said here. We all need a loser. We shouldn't engage past the Herbal live stream. And I'll go into what I emulate in a second. Why aren't you rating your chat? That's hilarious. Edit. W troll. I emoji wild. Milo's 100% a gooner. Confirm. IRL, he's a freak. No on cap. For real. Expose. W Celestial. L Celestial mentioned my fault. Did you have fun venting? Please stop engaging with them now. Yeah. I'm almost done. If it didn't stream, nah, man. Gave me a good giggle. I'm glad at least some of you got enjoyment out of this. I like to at least entertain people. Even if I'm all pissed off and having a bad day, as long as someone's entertained, that's all I would really want. You know, this is what I used to do before I did this pred catching shit. And like I said before, I am moving channels to Redflint. If I could find it. I could type in the name later. I could find it somewhere in here. I don't want to get too distracted. But look, I ain't perfect. I beefed with people before. I've done stupid shit. But at least I take accountability for my own actions, right? That's fair. This whole drama's petty, so I can't blame anyone for having a bit of a piss out of it. I know, I know, I know, I know. And again, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little offended he went out of his way to find that. Again, it is what it is. I was honest about that from the jump, but, you know. Alright, as for the jail thing, you know what? We'll skip it. I think I went over enough. Because it's on Herblaw's live stream. I think we did a good enough digging into this shit. So, I want to move on to what I'm going to be doing next. I'm going to be getting my VTuber channel up. I already have PNG me, or I could just use the Unity app to do my VTuber. And I do kind of want to move on from all this shit, but I want to point out all the hypocrisy this guys did. But yeah, if you go on Herblaw's live stream and skip around, he talks about being a domestic terrorist and all this stuff, and you can find all this shit yourself, so. Yeah, I mean, that is fair. But I think we covered our bases here. To answer your question from earlier, right, I do apologize for that. I do apologize for that. Yeah. You know what? Part of it is entertaining, so I hope he does. But at the end of the day, at least this shows more on him than me. Now look, I'm gonna say this one more time. If you're an adult, you post fucking porn, as long as no minors can easily access it, I don't care. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna answer your question real quick. PSP, Sega Genesis, SNES. Fair. Alright, alright. I get it. I'm about to stop engaging. I'm just talking with you guys now. I'm just talking with you guys now. I know. That's why I'm just talking with you guys. I'm about to end stream. Alright. While we're on here, I do plan on doing another stream where it's going to be... What was it? That fucking weed game. What was it called? Schedule. Does anyone want any custom fucking weeds or anything? I know you're never wrong. You're my fucking lawyer. Duh, you're my lawyer. Of course you're never wrong. Sorry, Parzival was my lawyer. But I will be doing a schedule stream. The deeper you go into drama, the harder it is to get out. Yeah. Alright. You're right, you're right. So, I'm gonna move on from this. I'm not even gonna do the Corona Lakesley video. Like, at the end of the day, I have covered a lot of these fucking schizos. Yeah, I know. I said Parzival was my lawyer. I corrected myself. I don't want to get shot. Alright, let me link my alt account on here real quick, because, like I said, I do plan on switching completely. If y'all want to continue watching me and supporting my channel, or not this channel, but my new channel. Sorry. Trying to find it. Let me switch accounts on my phone real quick. There we go. Okay, let me get the name. Redflint. One more second. This is where I'm going to be moving channels. So if you guys want to continue supporting me, I am moving over here. And I'm not going to be doing any of the pride catching shit anymore. I was going to make the Corona Lakesley video, but I just don't have the time and effort, you know? If I'm going to be doing something, I want to do something that's fun. So please check out Redflint. That's where I'm going to be doing all my other content, where we're going to be doing, like, schedule, the game schedule, reacting to videos, stuff like that. Actual fun shit, you know? I'm pretty much done here. I have enough evidence on Corona Lakesley and Loppy and all that stuff to where I'm good to just leave this. And I'm going to re-hide channels so I don't have to deal with this shit. And even if he does find more gooner shit about me, at the end of the day, Milo was chill with me, even though he now knows I'm a porn gooner or whatever. Like, nothing's really changed for me. Fuck, now I feel stupid for even doing this. Jesus Christ. Anyway, check out my other channel. If anyone has any more closing comments before we end it, say so now. I will be doing schedule on Red Flint VT as my first stream. We're going to move everything onto there and take highlights of my stream and just have fun. If there is a... You're chill to me. You're chill... I am cringe. But that's just a part of me, man. You know what? I'm glad to at least be somewhat cringy. If there's any part that's likable about me. Yeah, see, there you go. There you go. I ain't a schizo. Yay, pineapple. Alright, I think we'll end it here. You guys see the other channel. You can follow it there if you choose to. I hope everyone has a great day. As for me, that's probably going to be it for this channel. So...